Right viewers, here we are back at Barron's Classic Car Auctions at Marchwood near Southampton for their Easter sale. I know it's after Easter, but that's what it's called. I do apologise in advance if I get things wrong, if I fall over, if I just generally make a mess of it. I'm afraid it's just the way that it goes on this channel. So the Renault 5 is here. This is an 89. It's actually an automatic one. I think maybe this was just called Renault 5 Automatic back in the day. It had some running problems. I think they're usually kind of simple cars, but this one's been a bit of a problem in terms of running. It's from a deceased estate. Estimate on this is no budget reviews money. It's £500 for £1,000. Bodywork's actually really good. I don't think it's got an MOT or anything. As you can see, this is Renault 5 Automatic. It's not 205 Auto as well. I think this one's actually locked, so we can't have a look in it. But you'll see previous videos where they've tidied it up. You've got some wheel trims on it now, and you know, that's nice actually. I don't know why no one's bought that yet. Maybe they just don't want to put the MOT on it. But there we go. So we've got quite a lot of manoeuvring activity going on in the background. I do apologise for this. Next thing is this 1991 Volkswagen Beetle. Beetle production finished actually in 2003. I think it was in Mexico where they last built them. It's a relatively late one, this. Sales in the UK officially and finished by about 1979, I think. This one's actually been converted to right-hand drive, which is very good. Got like I think it's an old Mark II Polo steering wheel and column stalks in this one. Reverse is not where reverse is in the front engine Volkswagens, of course. And again, we've got things like Golf Mark I style sort of interior bits, like interior door handles and things, but these were still pretty popular right up until the end. Just see we close that. There you go. Fits quite nicely, that actually. Got this weird sort of spoiler thing here. You know, 50 years limited edition. It's got a 1.6 engine in it. Actually, compared with the earlier Volkswagens, that would be reasonably fast. There's not much information about this, unfortunately. I can't really tell you much. One thing is some sort of steering wheel ball fitted, but I can't even remember if Beetles ever came with an automatic gearbox. Did they? I don't know. But I think it's quite nice myself. The doors are not dropping down, which happens a lot of them. Let's just check the estimate again. £4,500 to £5,500. So actually going through these in lot order, which is why I'm sort of moving around a lot. It's just a bit easier for me to do that. 1978 Reliant Scimitar GTE, estimate £4,200 to £5,000. That'd be sensible second-hand classics money on these cars. I didn't realise that. Yeah, we got the old British Leyland door handles on here. This one's a manual. Lovely 3-litre V6 Essex Ford engine in it. We're not allowed to make that connection that you want me to make between this and a certain member of the royal family. That connection is banned on this channel because that's what everybody says and we don't need to hear it again. Yeah, it looks nice actually, this. I can see a bit of crazing in the fiberglass, but like, who cares? Mad, does it? I think I've noticed that indicator still is very familiar. I think it's off a Chevette or something, isn't it? Yeah, certainly if that's sort of money, it should appeal to somebody. I didn't realise those were so cheap, but there we go. Lot number 109, a 2000 Porsche Boxster S. It's got a new MOT. £2,000 to £3,000. These really that sort of money? Okay, maybe they are. It's probably one of the cheapest ways into Porsche ownership, apart from something like maybe a 924 or something. But this is a bit more modern than that, so you don't need to worry about carburettors and stuff like that. I'm not a massive fan of the black wheels. I'm just not a massive fan of black wheels on cars in general. But it's had a new clutch replacement flywheel fitted. Yeah, I mean, we're approaching sort of middle of spring now, so maybe that's a good one to run around in. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. Something that is no budget reviews money, or potentially, because it hasn't obviously sold yet, is this early Mercedes-Benz SLK. This is the 230 compressor automatic. I think I can tell straight away why it's no budget reviews money. Look at this. Yeah, just found a common fault with these cars, viewers. Let's just see if there's any history on this. 3 owners, fetching shade of yellow. February is February 2025 MOT, okay. It's actually a Cat C as well. That, yeah, I'd be wary of this car because it's going to need some work, isn't it? And I can tell, like, the bonnet is not the same colour as the rest of the car. So that's had a bit of a whack somewhere as well in its past, and it is actually down to Cat C. So there we are. Another car that I can't believe the estimate on is this 1986 Mercedes 560 SEL automatic. Yeah, this was here last time as well, wasn't it? It's not my kind of thing, this exactly, but I kind of like it. There's something else next to it that I prefer, but some of you will like this. I mean, the reason I like it, apart from this incredible kind of period steering wheel in it, is because it's got a beige leather interior with wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior. There you go, there's the old-fashioned kind of handbrake in it. Amazingly, this does not have electric mirrors. You'd expect with a sort of a trick body kit on it and things like that, you might get some nice electric mirrors, but you don't, which is a shame. But it's just ever so kind of period modification special, really, isn't it? I'm afraid this chap is still here, looking a little bit sorry for himself. 88 Jaguar XJS V12 convertible. Estimate limited only £1,500–2,500, but this is going to need a lot of work. I mean, first of all, that, then this. Interior is actually not that bad considering the state of the hood. Yeah, it depends if somebody wants a project, really. I'm amazed actually with XJSs that they aren't worth more money, but it's just what it is. I mean, we've got a nice beige leather interior with wood. I mean, it could be worse. Well, that seat's going to need a retrim, though. Yeah, it depends how brave you are, I suppose. I mean, some people will think that is far too much, and I might be one of them myself, but others might quite like it. 1963 Jaguar Mark II 2.4, so sort of base model in the Mark II range, but it looks good. It says the paintwork does have micro blisters on it, which is actually true, but you can't necessarily tell that badly. It's clear that this scuttle panel here has been painted at a different time of the bonnet and the rest of the car, though. Oh, someone's even left the window open so I can have a look. No overdrive, I don't think, on this, as far as I can see. 4-speed manual. The interior looks very nice. I mean, you'd have to look up quite close at a show or something to know that the paintwork wasn't really good. Estimate on this is about £10,000 to £12,000, which is that good? I don't know, really. So we were discussing earlier about, you know, which of these cars you've seen before, and our old friend is back, firmly within sensible second-hand reviews territory. Literally the other day I filmed another Mark IV Escort with 1.3L. I imagine those are maybe in maximum condition about the same as this. This is £3,500 to £5,500 estimate. It's got the correct interior, but it should have some spot lamps, and those front indicators I don't think are correct. The wheels, I'm still not 100% sure if they're correct for the era, but it is good. There's no rust or anything. Paintwork looks good. Interior is basically there as well. Could do with a stereo and a new gear lever. Can't remember now if the XR3Is had that steering wheel or not, actually. Maybe they didn't. But yeah, it's so typical kind of Ford of the era. Everything just has this very nostalgic feel to it if you're familiar with the 80s and 90s Fords. And in white, certainly is very nostalgic. Got something here that I've genuinely never heard of in my life. I've never heard of a 1948 Chevrolet Fleetmaster. Apparently it's not been used in about 10 years. These are apparently the original seat covers for the seats. Estimate on this is £9,000 to £11,000. Very kind of typical immediately post-war American styling. That's all I can really say. Not much else really. I don't know much about American cars, as you probably know. Now this is more like it, viewers. 1991 Bentley Turbo R. It's a shame that this has been hanging around in here for a while. Deceased estate, it will come with a new MOT, 141,000 miles. Interior though is... Yes, please. I'm going to have a sit in this. I always sit in these old Bentleys, but I'm going to have to sit in this one again because I like it. Amazing. beige leather interior with lots and lots of wood. We've also got piping on the seats. We've got different controls from some of the earlier ones on here. There is the cruise control, also on the gear lever. I have driven a Bentley Eight, which is like a sort of less fancy earlier version of one of these, and that was really nice. Just listen to the way the doors shut on this. Everything is just so over-engineered and it's fantastic. I really don't know why no one really values these cars at that much money, apart from like perfect examples. I just don't understand really, but it's maybe just due to fear of enormously high running costs, which of course this could incur. I no doubt about it, but it's very nice. Something unusual actually here. I've not seen one of these at the auction house before. It's this 1970 Alfa Romeo GTV. This is a 1750 version. They call these coupes in general the 105 series coupe. I have actually driven one of these. It wasn't this car. It was a 1300 GT Junior with a 2-litre engine. This is the 1750 version, and it is such a pretty car. They are extremely beautiful cars and extremely nice to drive. Although driving position, I'll just show you. This is open. Well, yes, there we go. Driving position on them. You sit there and you think it's great, but then you realise you've got your seatbelt on and you haven't got long arms, you can't reach the gear lever, so you've got to move your seat forward, which makes it less comfortable. But apart from that, these are just absolutely glorious cars. Yeah, I quite like that. It's trying to tell me I can't afford it at £30,000 to £35,000, but there we go. Something else I probably could afford if I really wanted to. This 1988 Jaguar XJS HE automatic. This one is estimated at £3,000 to £4,000. It's a little bit more than the other one over there. So there's also a V12. The only issue with this car is it does need to work. There's no MOT on it at the moment, so that needs sorting out. Interior could do with a little bit of a clean up. But you're not talking an awful lot of money here. There's actually a little bit of information about what needs doing. So it needs a new anti-roll bar link, possibly shockers or top mounts. Brake lights and gauges have stopped working. Rear tyres need changing. Possibly more, who knows? It's an old Jag that's been sitting for a while. And underneath this bit here, you can see that's sort of vinyl, but maybe there's something underneath there. So a bit of caution sort of recommended for something like this, but I do like XJS's very, very much. And we've got headlamp wipers. Now this is nice, 1968 MG GT, bonnet bulge as you can see there. Estimate £20,000 to £23,000. This car has been fully restored. If you total up all the paperwork, it's probably about 50 grand some spent on this, so something of a bargain in one respect. But just be very careful over here, not trip over this ramp. Let's take a look inside. Oh yes. I've driven quite a few sort of cars of this era. One of them was an MG GT from '72 with a V8 conversion, and that reminds me very much of this, although this is a bit less powerful, a bit less of a monster. But yeah, it's pretty nice. I like the wheels too. Now this is an unusual thing. 1935 MG Magnette, estimate £30,000 to £40,000. I'm not really very familiar with these. Any pre-war car I'm terrible with, but this looks like it's in really nice condition. This looks really good. There's not a lot of sort of visibility in here for some reason. I don't think this hood comes off or anything. Got sliding windows as well. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny seeing something like this wiper linkage like this. To a proper MG enthusiast, I'm sure this is amazing, but I sort of prefer the later ones myself. 1954 Riley RME. I think they made the RM series between the sort of 46 and 57. This is a 54. I never know the difference between the models. I can't externally identify them. I'm not much of an expert, but there we go. Guide price between £7,000 and £8,000 according to this website. That's slightly different on that sticker. See if we can get this open. Maybe the rear door's open. Yeah, there we go. Someone's set a seatbelts in this. It's quite handy, isn't it? Look at this sort of very 40s looking even 30s, dashed, all made of wood. Lots and lots of other wood here, just like that. For some of you, like, this will be a really kind of nostalgic car. Like, you know, you ridden in these when you were younger and things like that. This for me is just a little bit on the old side in terms of having any of that, but it's absolutely beautiful. Got our old friend here, lot number 122, 66 Triumph TR4A. This will be on the sort of lower end actually of TR4 and TR4A values, although it looks pretty good. The paint's not the best I've ever seen. It's perfectly presentable. Estimate is between 18 and £20,000. It's got a recent unleaded cylinder head. I don't know why this hasn't sold, to be honest. I'm not sure there's anything really wrong with it. It isn't just sort of cosmetic, really, but there we go. One of these days I should try one of these, shouldn't I? I've got somebody I know who's got one. So let me know if you'd like to see a review of one of these in the future on the channel. Wow. Very early Mini. This is a 1960 Austin 7 Deluxe. The Austin badge ones were called 7 between 59 and 61. Estimate 14 to 17,000 pounds. This looks in really, really nice condition. Apparently it was in the same family for about 40 years. See if this one's open. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's actually in really nice condition. Let's see if it's got the starter down on the floor, because the really early ones were like that. Can't see. I can see the dimmer switch for the headlamps right next to the gear lever. Don't try changing gear with that in the dark. That would be less than desirable, I think. But yeah, that's really, it's lovely, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. It's quite sort of reasonable for an early Mini. I thought these were sort of £20,000–£30,000. But there we go, maybe I'm wrong. So here we've got the 1973 Bedford CF is the camper van. Now it looks like it does need a bit of finishing off. You can see someone's primed up that bit, and also that bonnet needs for finishing off. But it has had an interior overhaul. Let's have a look at the interior actually. Well, yeah, that looks good. You can see towards the back, had a new kitchen put in here as well. So it probably just needs tidying up and finishing off. I wonder if this has got the old Slant 4 engine in it. Yeah, it's 2.3 Slant 4, the one they fitted to things like Volkswagen Magnums and Chevy HSs. Interesting. Oh, viewers, I think I have discovered something that I like very, very much indeed. A 1979 Vanden Plas 1500. It's not perfect, we got a couple of dents in here, but having driven one of these quite recently, yep, this one's a manual. I quite like it. Yeah, it's my sort of thing. I know it's just a very posh Allegro, really, but this is like one of the last of the Kingsbury cars, which would have mean it was sort of hand finished by the old Vanden Plas coachworks. Oh, that's amazing. Beige leather interior, lots and lots of wood. Oh, I'm so tempted, viewers, at £3,500–4,500, but I can't come home with this and expect my lady wife to be in any way pleased. So I'm afraid we are not going to buy it, but I hope one of you do. '78 Chevrolet Corvette, lot number 126. Guide price is £9,000 to £10,000. I think we've seen this one before. It's pretty good on the outside. I don't know if this is like a reasonable price for something like this. I'm not sure. Glass fibre weave kind of looks like some bubbles in there, but it's very presentable. Ooh. I'm afraid it's locked. Big air on the back of it. I keep expecting something like this to have a CB radio in it or something like that, but maybe I'm just someone who's watched Smokey the Bandit too many times. I don't know. Goodness gracious me, viewers, it's one of these Datsun bakkie things that they call them in South Africa. Recently imported, it says 1977 this one. Right hand drive. It looks pretty good. It's not like a new restoration or anything. You can see just sort of here that paint isn't perfect, but I mean at £9,000 to £11,000, I don't think it's too bad. You can see all the truck bed here. I think maybe since for Africa until actually quite recently they facelifted, but this is one of the original style ones. Look at that, got the strip speedo and everything. They designed a sort of late 60s, early 70s, I think these were. I don't think I've seen one of these for quite a while. Not surprising because there really aren't any left, but we'll look at the back actually. Very practical. I don't quite know what exactly you do with it other than take it to shows and things, but you know, why not? That is interesting. Look at this. Actual dealer sort of plaque there. Yeah, Rustenburg, so it must be from Africa. Wonderful. So a little bit less than that is this 1964 Humber Super Snipe. It says Series 2.5 on website here. I can't be Series 2.5. I don't quite understand that. It just says it here as well. So lovely, comfortable old car. Well, we'll take a look inside and see just how comfortable this is. Oh, bench seat, column change. Look at the wood dash. These old Roots design cars were always just a little bit sort of better quality than a lot of the other mainstream ones. Kind of, you know, town mayors or whatever would drive something like this. It's fantastic. Yeah, there's the old Roots Group logo on there. So we're back in very familiar territory for the channel with this 2003 MG TF135. Got a hard top on it, which is excellent. You can need that today. Guide price £2,000 to £3,000. I wonder if it has like a camber or a water pump or something. Let's have a look at the information. No, that's a bit of a shame. Headline is droopy and things. Now, very good ones of these are sort of £4,000 to £5,000 if you go for maybe like a TF160. It's got the hard top like this one has, but this one's a bit cheaper. Got an old friend here, 1971 Jensen Interceptor Mark III, estimate £33,000 to £40,000. This is just perfect. It's practically concours this. I keep thinking I'm Robert Vaughan in The Protectors driving this. The one that he drives in the series, which I think is a 1971 model, is a very similar age to this, but it's brown. That was filmed 71 to 73, I believe. So yeah, that's lovely. So this one is another Mark II. This is a 3.8 59, a very early one, in this kind of classic old English white. Talking about ITC series, in 1965, when they were filming an episode of The Baron up at Box Hill in Surrey, they threw one of these off a cliff, and the clip actually appeared in various TV series, ITC and later ones, until the early 90s. I'd be very scared if I got in one of these and I started heading towards a cliff. Those of you who are of a certain age, you're into the old ITC shows, will know exactly what I mean. But anyway, how much for this potentially dangerous Jaguar? £20,000 to £30,000. 11133 we can talk about, but last one we can't. 1999 Subaru Impreza Turbo 2000 all-wheel drive. Now, with the first generation Imprezas in this country, they weren't called the WR STI, although this has got STI logos on it. They were called the Turbo 2000. £5,000 to £6,000. Got the gold wheels on this. It's had a fair degree of mechanical attention recently. I mean, the reason it's £5,000 to £6,000, I think we can see why it is. The bodywork could do, I think, with a little bit of tidying up. But in here, a lot of you will be very nostalgic. I mean, there's such kind of normal-looking cars inside, and the plastic's not necessarily the best, but that's not really the point. The point is, you've got a powerful 2-litre Boxer engine, 4-wheel drive, massive spoiler, big exhaust and lots of fun. That's really what these are about. Commenting on the quality of the plastics is a bit pointless, really. Yeah, it's not perfect or anything, but that looks like a lot of fun. So, a 2002 Jaguar S-Type V6 Sport Automatic, estimate £2,000 to £3,000. You can sometimes buy these for under £1,000. I wouldn't recommend it particularly. This one looks a bit better. That's very nice, actually. A couple of minor bumper scuffs. This looks good. Is it open? No, not today. Sport. You can tell that really because it's got the rear spoiler and some nice quad exhaust pipes. That's very nice. So I have driven a 3 to V6 one of these. It was a 2000, I think, just called a V6 rather than the 36 Sport. But yeah, they're not too bad, these. Oh, viewers, my old friend is here. 1988 Bentley Eight, estimate £5,000 to £6,000, so sensible second-hand classics money. I drove one of these last year, actually, and I said at the time you could buy one for about £5,000, which is in reasonable condition, and here it is. And just like the Turbo R, I can't resist having a little seat inside here. Supplied by H.R. Owen. Indeed, a very, very famous Rolls-Royce and Bentley dealer and Aston Martin. And everything else based in London. Oh, it's so comfortable. Oh, can we move the seats using these controls and things? Yeah, we've got memory function, and there's the gear lever with the cruise control, and piping, and wood, and a green dash, and oh, you know, if I had lots and lots of money, which I don't, I think I'd have one of these. I'd like, this would be fine. It's a little bit, you know, kind of worn on the inside. I imagine the bodywork's not perfect or anything. But yes, I mean, imagine your very own Bentley Eight and being able to cruise around in it. This has had the front headlamps changed. They should actually be twin rather than quad headlamps this one's got, but I mean, very nice. Something I've never seen before in my entire life. It's 1971 Triumph Midge JC. This is, I think, just like a special, really. It's based on a Herald, so it's a very, very kind of late Herald. It was on a J71 for the last year they made them. Obviously, a Herald chassis is a very good option for doing things like this because you can just take the body off and put whatever body you want on. Yeah, so wooden body tub covered in aluminium. Yeah, registered as historic. 8 previous owners on the V5. £2,000 to £3,000. Yeah, I mean, I've driven the Herald and it wasn't like the most modern feeling car ever. It's a 68, I think, the one I drove, a convertible 1360. This has just got the 1200cc engine in it. And yeah, I mean, either you like this kind of thing or you don't. It's like buying a Bentley Mark 6 or R type special, really. Now, it's something I've not seen in a long time. A 1970 Ford Zephyr V4. Estimate on this is £3,500 to £4,500. This is the last lot we'll be looking at today. Vinyl roof, so kind of period correct. I mean, it's not perfect or anything. This is the base model, actually, the Zephyr V4. Weirdly, this has got a fuel filler that's just there in the middle. I mean, it's quite handy because you can fill up from either side of the car, but there we are. Weird. Oh, we're open. Oh, brilliant, we can have a look inside. It's a 4-speed manual. It's got a floor change. I think you could get some of these with a bench seat and column change, but I could be wrong. I'm not too familiar with these. One thing you've got to be aware of if you are driving one of these is that they're not the most crash-resistant cars. When I used to take them banger racing back in the day, they used to sort of fold up at the bulkhead. So just be very careful when you're in intense driving situations. You probably won't be in something like this, but just be aware of that. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one. Hopefully it's got power steering. They're such massive cars, these. Huge, long bonnet, far longer than you need for the Essex V4 in the front. And then like a short boot. It's still big, but yeah, you see the Granada and Consul that replaced these were just a bit more of a conventionally proportioned car. And but this is, some people, just very, very nostalgic. I don't think I've seen one like this for a long time. But that's wonderful. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below. Thank you to the team here at Barron's, as always, for letting me come and film today. And we shall see you again very soon for some more incorrect information.